Hi, my name is Ted Waga, and I'm running for the United States House of Representatives in Pennsylvania's 19th Congressional District. In this video, I would like to talk to you about our federal debt and our federal deficit. I would like to start by saying that it's not you and I, the American people, who spent too much money that got us into this situation. No, it was our federal government who spent too much money that got us into this situation. Yet, they expect us to trust them to fix the problem that they've created. Now, with the current polls that indicate approval ratings that are super low for the Congress and super low for the White House, it's no wonder that we don't trust them to fix what they've broken. In 2010, our federal government's revenue was $2.162 trillion. They spent $3.456 trillion for a deficit of just under $1.3 trillion. Our current debt sits at just over $14.7 trillion. Now, if we equate this to an individual who makes $100,000, that individual who's making $100,000 would be spending $160,000, and they would be $689,000 in credit card debt. How do we get out of this debt? How does our government fix this? Well, we have to ask ourselves as individuals, how would I fix it? The answers are pretty simple, and many Americans are already doing this. First, you have to cut spending. You got to stop spending so much money. Now, there's a few areas that I would like to touch on that I think we could start immediately. The first two deal with Congress themselves. They got us into this mess. They're going to have to pay for it. They're going to have to do something to show us they're serious about getting us out of this mess. First thing is take a 10% pay cut. Every congressman across the board, both in the House and the Senate, 10% pay reduction immediately. That's what I'm going to push for if elected. The second would be the congressional budget. My congressman, Todd Platts, last year in 2010, spent $887,000 on his staff. Does it really take $887,000 to support one congressman? This is one congressman. There are 435 in the House and 100 in the Senate. And I'm pretty sure that many more spent more than Congressman Platts did. So if we extrapolate this and round it to $900,000, multiply that times the 535 members of Congress, we're talking $500 million. About $500 million in spending. And these two numbers, the 10% pay decrease, as well as decreasing their budget, are they going to make a huge dent into our debt and deficit? No. I agree, they won't. But it's a start, and it lets us know which of our congressmen are serious about this problem that we're facing. This is where the rubber meets the road. And we're going to hold their feet to the fire. So those are two areas where Congress themselves can pick up the slack and show that they're serious. Another area for Congress to cut out completely is earmarks. Earmarks have no place in bills. Once the budget is set, the budget is set, and that's it. That's why we need a balanced budget amendment. That's another solution to the problem, but one that I'm not going to get into in this video. But no earmarks, bottom line. Another area is foreign aid. Now, I'm sure there are many programs that are very good programs, and I'm a compassionate person, and I feel for people when they're hurting. And I would love to help as many people as I possibly can, but the problem that we're facing now as a nation is we can't even help ourselves. And if we can't help ourselves, how can we help anybody else? There's a verse in the Bible that talks about how can you worry about the splinter in your brother's eye when you have a plank in your own eye? We need to fix our own problems before we can fix anybody else's problems. So those are four quick areas that we can cut. There's many other areas where we can cut and reduce spending in Washington, but that's way too involved for this one video. In addition to cutting, you need to increase your revenue. Now, there's two ways to increase revenue. Our federal government can simply increase taxes, which is counterproductive to what we really want to do here. If you increase taxes, yeah, you're going to see an increase in revenue right away, no doubt. but you're taking money away from individuals, you're taking money away from mom and pop shops, small businesses, and corporations. And when you're taking money away from them, the individuals have less money to spend or to save. Therefore, those companies that they would have spent their money at have less in sales, and they have less because you've taken more in taxes. So what it does is essentially puts a chokehold on what we want to accomplish, and that is growth. You're not going to get growth by increasing taxes. You're going to get a contraction. People are going to spend less. Companies are going to have to downsize because their revenue is going to go down, so they can't afford their payroll. That's the ultimate long-term result of increasing taxes. If you go the opposite way and you decrease taxes, you're not necessarily going to see that immediate increase in revenue. But what will happen is when you put more money in the pockets of individuals and mom and pop shops and small businesses and corporations, they're going to have room to grow. Now, individuals are going to do one of three things with their extra money. They're either going to put it in the bank and save it, at which time the bank is going to take that money and they're going to invest it to make money. Or the individual will invest that money themselves and make money. Or, in most cases, these individuals are going to spend that extra cash they have. And by spending that cash, that's putting even more money into the pockets of the small businesses and the mom and pop shops and the corporations. It'll create more demand. And with increased demand will come a increased growth of the company. So these companies and businesses are going to have higher revenue because of higher sales, individuals spending that extra cash, and their decreased taxes will put more revenue in their pockets. So these businesses will have room and the money to grow their business. And as the business grows, they're going to have to hire more people, which will ultimately, in the long term, increase the tax base, thereby increasing tax revenue. And what this will do is create a sense of stability and confidence in the business sector and in our government. The American people will have more confidence in our federal government. Businesses will have more confidence in our federal government. Businesses themselves will have more confidence in the economy. And that's when things will begin to grow. Now, the solution is a pretty simple one. You cut spending, you decrease taxes, and in addition to decreasing taxes, you can decrease regulation. That's a whole different topic, but decreasing regulation will further allow businesses to grow. It will decrease the costs of business on those businesses. So there you have it. You cut your spending, you decrease taxes and regulation, you're going to increase the economy, you're going to increase your federal revenue, you can then begin to decrease your debt and your deficit. Very simple answer. The executing of it is not so simple. It's going to require people of character, people with a backbone who aren't afraid to draw a line in the sand and hold that line. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be very tough, and it's going to take sacrifice on everybody's part, not just in Washington, but across these United States of America. But friends, we are in a tough spot. We are facing a lot of trouble right now as a nation. And Thomas Paine wrote, "If there be trouble, let it be in my time, so that my children may have peace." This is our time of trouble. This is our opportunity as a nation, as Americans, to step up to the plate and fix what is broken so that our children will have peace. Friends, I'd like to thank you for watching my video. And I would like to ask you, if there's anything else you want me to speak about, if there are any other issues that I haven't covered, please let me know. I will do a video to address that issue. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns for me, please use the Contact Me page, send me a message. I'll be more than happy to get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Again, thank you, God bless you, and God bless these United States of America.